You are logged on to the Computer Corner Show, now available from both our website at www.compcorner.com and on YouTube for your convenience. I'm your host, Phil Shortell, the lead instructor at Computer Corner in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And with me here today are my co-hosts, Carol and Joe Petronovich, the owners of Computer Corner, and good day to you both.
Good day, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, if your printer is pinging, your ping won't print, or your PowerPoints are puny, listen to our show. Visit us at Computer Corner, because we're here to try to help you with all of your computer problems, hard or easy. Since people can now listen to the Computer Corner show from anywhere in the world and possibly beyond, we want to tell you a little bit about us.
Sure. Computer Corner is based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, located at 3101 Manal, which is a few blocks west of Carlisle, directly off I-25. We've been in business since 1983, so we have a fair amount of expertise under our belt.
Yeah, Computer Corner was founded by Carol and Joe, and they do indeed have a lot of experience. Joe is an MCSE, or Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer, and Carol manages the government contracts at Computer Corner, which include those with the City of Albuquerque, the County of Bernalillo, the State of New Mexico, and Los Alamos National Laboratories.
And Phil is Computer Corner's software expert, having been a technology instructor for over 30 years, and he gets rave reviews from all our clients for both his classroom training and one-on-one tutoring.
Thank you very much, Carol, for saying that.
Well, that's true.
Computer Corner also sells to the public, too, and I think we have one of the most impressive showrooms you'll find anywhere around. Check out our photo gallery on our website at www.compcorner.com.
One more thing before we jump to our topic. Today kicks off Computer Corner's tax holiday sale. The official tax holiday weekend here in New Mexico is August 2nd and 3rd, but at Computer Corner you can pre-order and avoid all those crowds, and we'll invoice you on the tax holiday, and you can still be tax-free.
In addition to saving tax, you'll get free Kaspersky antivirus software and a free Windows 10 class. $79 value, and it's all free. Pre-order and save tax at Computer Corner now through August 3rd. Now, on with the show.
All righty. We promised you on our last show that we talk about how hackers can actually steal data from your printer. We've got some other topics too, but let's jump right into the first topic about your printer.
Potentially anything attached to the internet, even through another device, can be hacked. Just because something doesn't seem like a device that would traditionally attract hackers doesn't mean that it's not vulnerable to a hack.
Potentially, even your smart refrigerator can be hacked, and we've kind of talked about that before.
Yep.
Not sure what the motive would be, but you get the idea, I'm sure.
To see what you're eating.
Well, that could really mess with your shopping list.
They could do that. In late 2018, a hacker named the Hacker Giraffe hacked into 50,000 printers in an effort to bolster a YouTube subscription account.
They accomplished this hacking event by writing a program that scanned the different ports on your computer. So essentially, the hack started there, totally undetected because it was not targeting programs, data, or files.
Right. After detecting unprotected ports going from computers to printers, the hacking program sent out a harmless but intrusive message to these printers, which caused every one of them to print a flyer on behalf of the YouTube post.
Can you imagine 50,000 flyers?
It's amazing. And that'd probably be a good marketing technique, wouldn't it? I mean, it's much cheaper than doing it the hard way, but not
Right.
really nice.
Right.
In a way, just showing that it was possible to take over these devices, but to promote that post.
So that hack might have been harmless, but what about a hack to a government printer or your CPA's printer? Printers on a large-scale network in offices are often totally unprotected. Many multifunction printers like the printer, scanner, copier, and faxes, obviously, if it's a fax, it's going to be hooked to something. These devices are usually also directly attached to the internet.
Yep.
So what's the potential for a problem or for accessing data there? It's a real issue.
Well, if you want to Google printer hacking, you'll find numerous short videos on how to hack into a personal printer or a printer on the network.
Wow.
Not that we're advocating going to this and learning how to do it.
But if
I
it's
think
out
it's just
there-
good information.
Yeah,
Right.
if it's out there, people are doing it. Well, what are the potential problems? Someone can gain access to the computer through an unprotected printer and install a virus or a piece of malware that would be undetected until you ran your virus and malware scans manually.
All right. On many other shows, we've talked about how we all can get a virus into our computer by inviting it in, by either downloading a file or clicking somewhere we shouldn't. This is the same situation, except your printer could be inviting the virus in.
Right. Another thing that a printer hacker can do is install tools, denial of service, DOS, so that you can't print or save files.
And of course, last and certainly not least, someone could mine the data from what you're printing. And again, if this is a government agency, a CPA or a banker, well, that could affect a whole lot of people.
I think it could affect just about everyone because we
Right.
all print things that we want to keep confidential, just printing out information about what you're depositing in your bank account or anything like that. And now that we've given you even more reasons to be paranoid about hackers,
Yeah.
we'll tell you what to do to protect yourself and your business. And it's really not that hard with a quality brand printer.
First way is to buy a secure printer, and HP boasts that they have the most secure line of printers on the market. HP has baseline security built into all its printers with high-level security for all their network printers.
They essentially have software embedded into their hardware, which is called firmware, that has names like HP Smart Start, which will go out to the internet and update itself for security issues.
There's also encryption built into the HP computers or HP printers too. To be sure that your printer, whatever the brand is protected, go out to that manufacturer's website. Don't just Google it, because we warned about that before. If you just Google that manufacturer's name and click on what you find, you actually might be sent to a different website than the manufacturer's. So type in the actual manufacturer's website, like HP.com or Epson.com, and search for the printer updates in their support section.
That's where the manufacturer will outline the security they have, but will also offer firmware updates and upgrades if one is needed for your printer. And most of the time when you buy a brand new printer and you do this first step, it's out of date already.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's a good idea right then and there after you put the toner or the cartridges in to do the firmware upgrade. Stay current with the printer drivers and firmware upgrades, and you should be okay.
One thing to add, though, if you're doing a firmware upgrade or update to your printer, do not interrupt it for any reason or you could damage your printer, and that would not be warranty. It's simple, though, really simple. Just follow the instructions.
In a future show, we're going to talk to you about how to shop for a secure refrigerator, too. No, I'm only kidding about it. We're on the topic of printers. And since we're on the topic of printers, let's talk about how your computer communicates with the different types of printers and all of the different types of printers there are.
You know, there's really a lot of printers, and I don't think most people really understand that, but there's dot matrix, laser, inkjet, solid ink printers, thermal printers, LED printers, badge printers, 3D printers, and I might be missing one.
Or more than one for all we know. Dot matrix printers are impact printers used to print on forms with 2 or more parts or pages. Just like the name implies, when your computer prints to a dot matrix printer, it sends one line of code at a time in the form of dots that form the words or images. This type of printer uses a ribbon much like typewriters did, and the technology is very much like that of a typewriter.
There's also laser printers, which most everyone is familiar with. They use toner. A laser printer uses a laser beam that scans back and forth across a drum inside the printer, building a pattern of static electricity that attracts the toner.
Then there's another type of printer, which people sometimes get confused with laser printers because they're so similar. It's an LED page printer. So very similar to the laser. It also uses toner, but it uses light-emitting diodes rather than a laser to print to the drum or to the belt. They have fewer moving parts than a laser, so many people think they actually last longer.
Right. But with the laser printer, the next step where the actual image is attached to the thing, the laser printer uses a fuser unit to bond the toner to the paper. Unlike the dot matrix that sends one line of code at a time to the printer, the laser printer spools the print job, sending the entire file to the printer before printing.
Then there are thermal printers, and those are used for those thermal receipts that you typically get from restaurants, banks, and other businesses. You know the ones we're talking about. They turn dark if you leave them in the sun or on the seat of your car.
Right, that's because they use heat to coat the thermochromic paper, or thermal paper as it's referred to most often. It selectively heats the paper as it passes over a printhead that creates the image.
And if it's a color thermal printer, it will use different heat levels for each of the colors to generate that color on the paper. Like the dot matrix printer, it also uses a ribbon. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot badge printers and ID printers. We didn't even talk about ID printers.
No.
These printers have a feeder for a plastic badge or ID stock. So like your driver's license, for instance.
Right.
These printers can use thermal transfer like we talked about before, but they can also use dye sublimation using either a ribbon or thermal wax, depending on what the printer brand is. They can print one-sided or two-sided badges, full color or just black and white only, with ID photos, and some actually have the built-in laminators, and those are like the ones at the MVD offices.
Before I forget, don't put your thermal receipts in your mouth. I've done that, when I
Oh,
had my
yuck.
hands free. They taste awful.
Yes.
But anyway, here's one of my favorites, the 3D printer. Pretty exciting development in printing technology. This type of printer is capable of producing a 3D object using a high-quality resin. They're fairly expensive, although the price has come down over the past several years, but there are endless possibilities in terms of usage. I've seen them where they're printing toys. I've seen them where they're printing food.
In the latest ones, are they able to put full color in them now? The first ones that came out were single color and just were like blobs of plastic almost. Well, not blobs, because they were
They
images.
come out in little dots, tiny little dots of plastic that string together. And
Kind of
I
build
have
in a
not
layer.
seen one that is using multicolor myself. I'm sure they exist, but those have to be the ones that are still probably very expensive.
I'm sure. But just think about it. If you wanted to make an image of, can you do living things?
Can you do living things?
Well,
People?
a couple of weeks ago, China actually advertised, they didn't advertise, they got it out in the news somehow that they had actually produced a living 3D printed liver
Wow.
using some sort of gene technology.
Well, that's even beyond what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, but that's what, you're building something from scratch and making it work.
Yeah, if I
Amazing.
live much longer, I may need a new 3D printed liver.
Okay. I think that's about it for this week's show. Don't forget we have the pre-order tax holiday sale going on at Computer Corner now, with the tax holiday on August 2nd and 3rd. Get free antivirus software and a free Windows 10 class with any computer purchase now until August 3rd.
We hope you'll join us again in 2 weeks, and then we'll be talking about some keyboard function and features you surely wish you knew about. If you want to be updated when a new show is posted, you can subscribe to our e-newsletter by going to our website, www.compcorner.com. We hope that you'll think of Computer Corner for all your hardware, software, service, and training needs. Until we meet again, mind your bits and bytes. This is Phil,
And Carol.
And Joe.
wishing you carefree computing. The Computer Corner show is logging off.